Hello, everybody, and welcome to the TeacherCast Educational Broadcasting Network. My name is Jeff Bradbury. Thank you so much for joining us today and making TeacherCast your home for professional development. Today, we're going to be talking all about places that you can go to find the great equipment that you need for your classroom, whether it be STEM, whether it be podcasting equipment, or maybe even puppetry. We're going to share with you guys a great location that we recently met at the ISTE convention, and how you guys can get your hands on some pretty cool merchandise for your school. Of course, there's several great ways that you can reach out and be a part of this and all of our shows today. You can, of course, find us on Twitter at TeacherCast. Leave us a voicemail over at teachercast.net/voicemail. Email us at feedback@teachercast.net. And, of course, subscribe to this and all of our shows over at teachercast.net/audio and teachercast.net/YouTube. Before we get to our guest today, I want to bring on Dr. Sam Patterson. Sam, how are you today? Welcome to the program.
Thanks, Jeff. I'm doing great.
Now, you and I were talking a little bit about some of the things that you've been working on in your STEM and Maker Lab, and you said, Jeff, I'm looking for some great places to find these robots. I'm looking for some great places to find some of these puppets. Why is it so difficult for teachers to get a hold of these types of things?
Well, one of the most challenging things about running a makerspace or any student choice centered classroom is you have to be able to get stuff pretty quickly. And I'm lucky in that I belong to a very small school, and they will reimburse my direct expenses when I buy things. So I'm really only subject to like Amazon's shipping. But a lot of teachers work in much larger systems where getting something approved is challenging. And, you know, they have to have specific vendors, and they have to be able to pay for things specific ways, and all of the paperwork has to be handled very officially. So that in itself can be a barrier.
And I would imagine also trying to find exactly what you need, because a lot of teachers are just going out there and saying, I need robots, what do I find? Or I need STEM equipment, what do I find? And finding that one spot, again, looking through some of these, Amazon or even some of the local stores in your area, it's intimidating because if you don't know what to find, it's hard to then go out and find it, I would imagine.
Right. And I mean, I know some very innovative teachers who source stuff off of eBay, but I mean, I like to take risks in the classroom, but whether or not my stuff is going to get there and whether or not it's what I need is not one of the risks I want to take.
Our guest today has a solution for just this situation. I want to bring on today Mr. Rick Fredkin from a great company called Eduporium. Rick, how are you today? Welcome to the program.
Hey, doing great, Jeff. Thanks for having me on. Excited to talk about Eduporium.
Thank you so much for being here. Now, you and I had a chance to meet this year at the ISTE convention, and you were telling me how Eduporium really is that one-stop shop for teachers and for school districts looking to bring in great equipment and have access to pretty much anything that they want. Tell us a little bit about Eduporium.
Great. So exactly. Eduporium is a resource around innovative technology. We are going out there and we're finding the great products that are coming a mile a minute, and great activities and things to do for students. And we bring it in, we test the products, and we work with schools to get in the hands of educators.
Now, where can we go to find out more information about Eduporium?
Well, we're all over the web. So, of course, eduporium.com. We're on Twitter, Eduporium, Facebook, Instagram, and I think we have a Snapchat account, as well. But we're all over the web.
Now, tell us a little bit about the website here. You are a marketplace, which means school districts can come and purchase their products from you. What kinds of things can we find on Eduporium?
So we're really out there looking at all technology products. So we have a lot of things around the makerspace category, but as well we sell the regular consumer type of electronics as well. But also, we're out there looking for what's new and what's interesting, and we actually are scouring the world. We get it in, we use it, and we try and break it. And if we decide it's something that'll be great for the space, we put it up on the web.
Now, Sam, you recently had an incident with Eduporium where you were looking for something for your puppet workshop. What have you found on Eduporium? Because this is an absolutely fantastic story here.
Well, I have this thing. I do. I like puppets, and sometimes when I go to websites, I say, well, I'm going to put puppet in there just to see if anything comes up. And usually it's an exercise in this grouchy old man syndrome where I feel good about the fact that they don't have what I'm looking for. But in this case, I was totally denied because I put puppet into the search and it comes up with this puppet Raspberry Pi kit where it comes with a marionette, 4 servos, a laser cut jig to hold the servos, and a control interface that you then hook up to your Raspberry Pi, as well as a power bank that you can put your AA batteries into. So you could then make this marionette programmable, and it comes with the marionette. So that kind of thing is just totally awesome. As I'm sitting here in my office with my 1960s English marionette trying to reverse engineer how I could make one of these things with the 3D printer or possibly some simple hand tools. But no, we can have the whole thing come in as a ready to go experience. Now, I may end up designing something for my kids that meets that halfway. I may order a couple of these. I may decide they're really what I need and they're perfect. I don't know. It'll really depend on what kids are interested in. But in the back of my head, knowing that if some kid said, "Oh, I want to create a programmable puppet," I'm like, I got it for you, right? We're going to take one of these Raspberry Pis out and use this. So after that, I looked around and they have a lot of great, they've done a really good job at curating some good resources. They've got, everything from drones to 3D printers to, bundles of robots and different games and interfaces. But I was really impressed with the depth when they delivered on the puppet.
Now, Rick,
well, that's pretty good. We'll save you some time. I mean, I'll just say that, we don't do this in a vacuum. Of course, we're out there talking with educators to figure out what they're looking at, what they need, what the projects that they're trying to accomplish. And that's also what helps brings things to the catalog. So it's a consultative process.
Now, Rick, if I'm looking over here on eduporium.com, you have 3 words next to each other that I know everybody in a classroom likes. Those words are free, educator, and discount. Could you talk to us a little bit about some of the things that you're doing to make these items available at a much more affordable price for not only our teachers, but our school districts?
Absolutely. So Eduporium, we're just focused on the education market. So whether it's teachers, educators, schools, or even the student at home. But for educators, we have an educator discount. And so basically you sign up, you say that you're an educator, tell us what school you're with, and you'll go into the catalog and you'll see things at discounted prices that can't be published just on the open page, up to 20% off. We try and have programs like that. Again, lots of the manufacturers don't let you have reduced pricing like that unless you have some sort of barrier to get in, and that's our educator discount. Also, we have a contest going on where every day if you go to the site and you there's a trivia question, and if you answer the question correctly, you can get a $100 gift card.
Wow. That's pretty cool there. So check that out.
Yeah, it is pretty cool. We think it's neat. We haven't seen that before, but yeah, it's scrolling along the top of the page. You click, you sit at your computer. Actually, you have to be the first person that day to answer the question correctly. So that's the trick.
Nice. We'll definitely check that out over at eduporium.com. Rick, I got to ask you, how did Eduporium get started? What's the genesis behind the whole program?
Okay, well, first of all, I've been in the computer industry, let's see, going on 20-something years. So I'm a lover of technology and what it's done and what it can do. And just myself as a product, technology gave me a career and something that I love to do. So we were working in the technology space, and we're actually selling computers into school systems, and found that there was this new space. It's almost a fourth wave. I mean, we started out with mainframes. We went to the personal computer. We went mobile. And now really, Moore's Law, we have computing in everything. And really price per capability has just, whichever way you want to say it, it's exploded in terms of what you can get. And we saw this as a great industry to be in sort of at its genesis.
Rick, I got to tell you, that is such a great story and a personal one here. I love how things in your past have certainly begun, helping out teachers worldwide. What kind of feedback are you receiving from teachers and from school districts about Eduporium?
The feedback has really been fantastic. People are really engaged in what we're doing, and we're helping teachers. So we get all kinds of great feedback. We like to hear about the projects that teachers are doing and help them find awesome, equipment and tools to be able to accomplish it. So just in terms of that, it's sort of a need in the marketplace. I mean, there's so much out there, and you hear about all of these great things. But where to start, how to start, what are the right tools? How do you get started with these tools? And, it seems like there's a real need for that. And that's where we come into play.
Well, let's answer some of those questions here. How do we get started? If I'm a vendor and I have something that I want to put on Eduporium, how do I do that?
If you're a vendor, well, you should get in touch, send us an email. We do read info@eduporium.com. So send it over there. And every meeting, we have a review of upcoming products that either we want to watch for later or that we want to be in contact with the vendor and start the process. The process starts. Normally, we want a few demos into the office. We'll play, break, and then, we're off to the races if we think it's a nice product.
And if I'm a school district, I would assume that you guys are good for tax-free organizations. I'm assuming you guys are good for purchase orders. How does the school district get, is the right word, approved to have you guys as a licensed vendor?
Absolutely. So, we're working our way because there's sort of multi-level registration for school districts. But that's part of our job is to be registered in states and ready to go for your school district. So, of course, we take purchase orders. And also the point is, feel free to call us up. We have an 800 number. And, if there's a project, we consult with school districts to help them get the right equipment. So just be in touch.
Now, Sam, you had mentioned that also on Eduporium is the ability to have a teacher look at these bundle packages. As a STEM teacher, why is it important to see these bundled packages all put together in one solid price point?
Well, it's nice to see the bundles because oftentimes as a teacher, I'm not trying to create an experience where 25 of my kids can do the same thing at the same time, because honestly, that gets really, really pricey if they're going to do more than like 3 things in a year. So instead, what I'm looking for is a way that I can set up stations so I can get a bunch of kids on a few pieces of equipment at the same time doing a bunch of different stuff. And when you look at the bundles on Eduporium, you can see some of the robots that they've bundled together, or some of the 3D building ideas that they have grouped together, or some of the coding activities and games that they have associated with each other. And it can really kind of fuel your imagination for what all could be going on at once. Because in order to be really successful in kind of a choice-based environment, you need to step away from the idea that all the kids are going to be doing the same thing. But we want to have a lot of cool choices for them to be able to make.
Rick, it certainly seems like Eduporium is a perfect solution for any school district to partner up with you guys to not only find the great equipment that they're looking for their STEM educations, their maker spaces, or even guys like Sam who just want a puppet and a Raspberry Pi.
Is it too much to ask?
You're gonna get your puppet kit, man. I'm telling you, you're gonna get your puppet kit.
Where do you see the future of all this? I mean, where do you see Eduporium going? Are you just looking to add more great stuff? Are you looking to add some more services? What is Eduporium going to look like in, say, 12 to 18 months?
12 to 18 months, we're expanding our footprint across the country. We're Boston-based and, strong in the Northeast with districts, all down the East Coast. So we're expanding out. But also, we are trying to, of course, more products. I mean, I think with the products and the type of innovative products we're seeing, we're right at the beginning of that space. So, we have products that we see that are coming down the road that are maybe 12 to 18 months out. But I mean, already we're getting things like virtual reality, more capability for price in terms of additive, 3D printers and things of that nature. So we already know that lots of great products are coming. That's fine. But we want to strengthen our offering. We don't try to carry everything. We try to carry what we think is good, what we think is productive, and really sort of best of class. So we're just keeping the train rolling and trying to get more technology into the hands of kids.
So when I'm looking on your front page, I see robotics and coding, drones, virtual reality computers, 3D printing. Now, I don't yet see puppetry. What will it take to get a puppetry on that main menu?
Ooh, main menu, Jeff. You got to start small, right? They do have a puppet kit, right? Which is pretty amazing.
I'd like to say I was impressed by that too. It has to go through a committee. These top things are highly sought after. But also we need more puppet tech. Maybe we could use some help with that because we only had one product. I was still impressed, but
Well, my buddies over at Spark Fun have actually taken one of my puppets and put a NeoPixel LED ring into it to create like a programmable Iron Man style light ring. So we'll see what we can come up with. Maybe there'll be a add tech to your puppet kit.
The website is eduporium.com. You can check them out, of course, over on Twitter at Eduporium. Rick, thank you so much for coming on today. Any last words for anybody out there who's interested in taking a peek at what you guys have?
Well, I would say please get in contact with us. The website's one thing, but we are available to have a conversation with and understand what the needs are and craft a solution. So that's what we do every day. And, we're happy to connect. So be in touch.
And Sam, for anybody that's out there looking to complete their makerspace, where can we go to find you?
You can find me and all of my stuff at mypaperlessclassroom.com.
And, of course, I want to say thank you to everybody out there who's making TeacherCast your home for professional development. There's, of course, several great ways that you can reach out and connect with us each and every single day. You can, of course, find us on Twitter at TeacherCast. Leave us a voice message over at teachercast.net/voicemail. Email us at feedback@teachercast.net. And, of course, subscribe to this and all of our shows over on teachercast.net/iTunes and teachercast.net/YouTube. We are at the halfway point in the summertime. We are getting ramped up to deal with a summer of STEM. We've got some great products that we're going to be reviewing. Check us out over on teachercast.net to find out where you can get a hold of all of your stuff. And I hope you have a chance to check out eduporium.com. On behalf of everybody here in the TeacherCast Educational Broadcasting Network, my name is Jeff Bradbury, reminding you to keep up the great work in your classrooms and continue sharing your passions with your students.